We've got Grand Admiral Throt over here dabbing.
Woo!
Boy, look at the memes. You're just like the
memes.
meme lord of this game,
There's
right?
a lot of memes circling around. Ever since I made that thumbnail for my video yesterday, all of a sudden people just been making a bunch of memes. I love it. People love the Grand Admiral.
You're the meme machine.
Yeah, meme machine, baby. Meme machine.
All right, we're going to talk about two big things in this video. We're going to talk about this Gear 12 team that's here in our test account, and you have an entire Gear 11 account on your characters. I took General Kenobi to Gear 12, so I have one, and we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Gear 12, the difference between the Gear 11 pieces that get you to Gear 12 and so on. We're going to talk about the big news.
Huge.
Big news about the Hoth Rebel Soldier and the Captain Solo now being 5 stars. So there was a lot of controversy about it, but it was changed. I know we both made videos about it. All right. So we're going to talk about that. But we're mostly going to talk about this Gear 11, Gear 12, and then we're also going to play on our test accounts the Phase 2,
baby.
And we're just going to talk about some of the nuances about how Commander Luke Skywalker has this revivability, some little things that we missed.
Yeah.
And we're going to also talk about deploy last.
Yeah.
I think everybody gets it, but it's kind of a big deal,
It is
right?
a big deal. I mean, there really isn't a need to deploy first. You just deploy at the end. I mean, we could talk more about that, but yeah, deploying is a really important thing. So once you deploy, you really limit what you can do then afterwards.
Okay, Meme Machine. Why don't you go into battle and fight this?
All right.
What is this team? This is like an all-rebel team, right? Pretty much?
It's a New Hope team, pretty much. And I'll send you a screenshot. Someone sent me this on Twitter. Some guy from Team Instinct, and on a real actual account, not a test account. This person already has a full Gear 12 New Hope team. It seems like one of the easiest immediate squads you can get to Gear 12 right away, and it's already possible. So let's see. So we're in battle. I already gave Kenobi he's got the foresight. My Barris got stunned, but that's not a big deal. I'm gonna put probably buff immunity on Princess Leia, I'm thinking. I'm not sure who to give it to. Either Kenobi so he doesn't taunt, Princess Leia so she doesn't go stealth and gain bonuses, or R2. I think I'm going to do it on Princess Leia, because once she goes stealth, it's really hard to get a hold of her.
Talk to us about the difference between the new pieces that get you to Gear 12 versus the Gear 12 pieces that come out in the territory battles, because that's what we're talking about, is these new Gear 11 pieces that are actually farmable, that are taking people up to Gear 12, but not beyond Gear 12. So go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, so the piece, in order to get the Gear 12 from, let's say, Gear 11, you have a Gear 11, I don't know, General Kenobi, you can actually farm the purple gear. They made extra nodes somewhere where you can actually farm this type of gear. And then once you get the Gear 12, there's a few additional pieces there that drastically change health by 7,000 per piece or something like that. And then that you only can get through the territory battle. So that's kind of how it's working right now. So to getting the Gear 12, it is technically free to play, and then once you get the Gear 12 and you want all those lovely additional pieces, you got to go participate in territory battles, help your guild get to the top, and get as many stars as possible. So that's kind of how it's working right now.
Looks like they're farmable on 9-D, both the dark and the light side. Is where you can get these pieces, and I don't know, it looks like it's gonna take 3-4 days to get one piece, and certain heroes need one, like R2 needs one, other ones require 2. Now I took General Kenobi, which only took one piece, from Gear 11 to Gear 12, and his stats jumped quite a bit. His protection went up to 65,000, and before that, it was beneath 50,000. Went up 16,000. Yeah. That's a pretty big jump.
There's some characters that really had an oddball change. One thing about gearing characters up, same thing as Zetas, when you increase a gear level to a whole new thing, such as Gear 12, or when you create Zeta mats, you kind of create a mini rework to some extent. And there were some really surprising ones. For example, General Grievous, who used to be the weakest character offensively and then health and protection, now is number 14 in health in the game, which is insane. So some of these changes are really odd. And then Chiru Imwe, he's now the lowest in health, right? I think you told me that.
Yep. And we don't know all the balance changes, but it looks. The only way I can describe it, if you've been playing the game since the beginning, when there was gear, level 60 was the top. Jedi Counselor was the most powerful character in the game at that time. And GS, Genosian Soldier, was also very strong at that time. And so as they raised it to 70 to 80 to 85 in Gear 10, 11, and now 12, there was a rebalance, a soft rebalance inside the game. Now, what I noticed, it looks like the Sith... You're all done. So no problems.
If I didn't have Barra Zeta, I think I would have had more of a problem. With Barra Zeta, Rebel teams that can't do anything. They can't control me. But if I didn't have Barra Zeta, I think that might have been a little bit more difficult. So Barra Zeta, if you have her, she's such a safe investment in this game. I don't think you can go wrong with her. So
she's making a comeback. I made a video about it.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I couldn't beat your Barris when I was playing with my Ahsoka Tano. Then you were. It was just funny seeing my character couldn't just get through to you at all.
It's kind of the anti-meta team right now. General Kenobi with Zeris. And the other 3 heroes, you can pick. There's different combinations. I've seen all different kinds of combinations. I just use one that I like. I know a lot of people will use Thrawn instead of R2 or Thrawn instead of CLS. I'm kind of focusing on light side characters right now as far as the characters that I'm taking up because they're so important in territory battles. I'm no longer upgrading my Nihilus and Thrawn. I'm focusing on Commander. I'm going to focus on R2 and Commander Luke Skywalker. And we'll talk about why Commander Luke Skywalker is so really important. It's because of that new revive feature that's in territory battles that I just figured out. Okay, I'm going to go into battle and play this. And while I'm doing that, tell me about some of the characters that you saw that got significant boosts and other heroes that did not get significant boosts when it comes to Gear 12.
Yeah, I've got to pull this up real quick here.
And I just want to say, we haven't done a lot of research on this yet. This is like brand new, and it's just from on the outside. I'm sure we can make more detailed videos in the future about what I saw is that the kind of like Wedge and Biggs didn't get a lot stronger. It looked like Sith got stronger and hit harder.
Right. That was another thing.
What else did you see?
Well,
Nihilus is not stronger. It looks like health and protection.
The health and protection, roughly, at least from just a general standpoint, it's on average about 30% increase in protection. Obviously, some more, some less. Like General Grievous is one of the big examples where he went from like, goodness, it was either like 13,000 or 17,000 health, and he jumped up to what is it now? It is now trying to find it here. It was like I can't find. Oh, there we go. 32,000. Like, what the heck? That's like a huge. That's over 100%. Even if it was 17,000 before, that's almost 100% increase in health right there just for making that jump and getting the additional pieces. And a lot of oddball characters took the top here, like Gamorrean Guard. Like he's the highest in health now. Before, I think it was Sunfac or Shore Trooper, and now it's Gamorrean Guard. Magna Guard, IG 100. He's now number 2. Then we have Zeb. He's number 3, and the Hoth Rebel Soldier. And so it's really weird. Even Clone Wars Chewbacca is now one of the highest in health. And before, when it was Sunfac and what's his name, Shore Trooper. Where is actually? I'm going to look up Shore Trooper right now. Where did he fall?
So this is like a soft rebalancing.
It is,
and it's going to change the meta or meta, however you say it, quite a bit because heroes that were good at Gear 11 may not be the best heroes at Gear 12. Right. It looks like Luke is still really strong.
Yeah.
He's still really strong.
Like, put this in perception. General Grievous has more health than Shore Trooper. In what world would you ever expect that? And General Kenobi, he's number 1 for protection. He has 44,000 protection at Gear 12. Even Hermit Yoda's up there, 41,000 protection. Goodness. There's a lot of interesting things if your Sunfac, Shore Trooper are in the top 3 right there. But other than that, even like Darth Vader, he's pretty beefy still. Death Trooper looks pretty beefy. But protection doesn't look too surprising. There's a couple of oddballs that I'm seeing here, like Night Sister Initiate's really up there. But the health is the most surprising thing, how it changes. Because some characters, they have the potential to get 6,000 or 6,250 health on a piece. And then when you add mods to this, imagine having 4 23.5% mods for protection or whatever, health mods. This is going to fly through the roof.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say is I think just randomly gearing 12 your favorite character is a bad idea, or just whatever worked in the arena last week may not be what works next week. I'm going to go all out on Commander Luke Skywalker because of how important he's going to be in the territory battles, and I'm going to basically wait and see who is really good at Gear 12 and then start making decisions from there. But the only thing I know about right now is Commander Luke Skywalker is good.
Yeah, it's always going to be good.
Does that seem like a pretty safe plan?
I think it's a great plan. I think it's a great plan. One thing, a couple months ago, I was so hesitant and resistant to gearing up R2, but deep down inside, it's you got to do R2. R2 and Commander Luke, they're going to be cornerstone pieces to this game. They're iconic characters. R2 works in pretty much almost any team going forward, and Commander Luke is Commander Luke, and they love him, and he's kind of the centerpiece of this game right now. So those two characters are for sure ones you have to gear. Probably those should be, if you have them and you haven't geared them up, it's smart to do it. They're just needed for so many. And there's so much. And just another thing to point out, it doesn't look like speed was changed at all with this.
No speed buffs.
Yeah.
It looks like massive health and
it's a
protection,
durability upgrade. That's all it really is.
Yeah.
And damage didn't change too much either, it looks like, at least from what I'm seeing here.
Yeah. So that kind of makes me think that like Nihilus will be even more important because he doesn't care, But from what I see, they didn't really boost him. Okay, let's go into territory battles because we're going to talk about that now. Now these 5 heroes right here, which are considered the Hoth units, which is Hoth Rebel Scout, Hoth Rebel Soldier, the 2 new heroes, which is let's just call them Hoth Han and Hoth Leia, and then we've got Commander Luke Skywalker, who I'm totally sprung on. So if we hit details and we look on this, there is 2 bonuses that I think I overlooked, and I'm just going to read the first one. It says all of your rebel characters gain the following ability. So everybody wrote focus defense. At the end of this unit turns, it contains protection up for 30% for 2 turns if it uses special ability and no enemies were defeated this turn. Cool, right?
So kind of like old Ben's mind tricks, he'll gain protection. Uses a special ability, doesn't knock anyone out, he'll gain the protection bonus.
Yeah, so and that's a passive, so that's just going to happen
by itself.
automatically.
You don't have to worry about wasting a turn.
So, like, we're talking about who should we take to Gear 12, knowing that we don't know who's going to be the best. Maybe Rebels.
It's going to be.
I hate to say it. Hate the Rebels.
Like when we got these special test accounts, first thing I did, I just started gearing Rebels. And if you're a new player, if you don't know what to do, just gear up some Rebels. They're really important in this game, and that's how it is.
Die Rebels.
Die Rebels scum.
All right. So then the Hoth heroes, right? All of the Hoth hero characters. This is huge, and I can't believe we missed this.
Yeah.
Last Stand. The first time this unit is defeated, it is revived with offense up, advantage, and the Last Stand unique debuff for 2 turns. So that means Commander Luke Skywalker has like a revive feature on him. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And so, boy,
it's crazy.
I mean, I don't know how good Hoth Rebel Soldier and Scout. Actually, I know they're not that good in Arena or other parts of the game, but they're going to be important in territory battles.
Yeah.
But Commander Luke, and I know that everybody doesn't have him, but he is like the no-brainer here to gear out right now, as far as I'm concerned, because of this mode and these bonuses. So let's talk about the deploy. Let's talk about platoons. There seems to be some questions about platoons, and actually a lot of the platoon missions affect the current phase. So it seems like right now it's most likely the most important thing to do the platoon deployments first. So we're in the same guild. We're not going to be able to get through this. Do we want to focus on the top one or the bottom one? What do we want to do? Bottom one has less points.
Yeah, I mean, we can just showcase both of the platoons. That's for sure. That shouldn't be that hard. We don't have maxed out characters yet. So, but I'm just going to hop into the first platoon. I mean, first you want to
on the top one.
Yeah, top. So first you want to check the requirements.
I'll go in there also.
So we need a 3-star light side for this combat mission, and you need a 3-star rebel for this mission. So make sure you just don't donate characters that are needed for those events, because you want to make sure you save your best characters for them.
Will they let you? I mean, you just don't want to.
Oh no, they'll give you a warning. Like, you can deploy a character that's like, warning, this unit is needed, and you can still deploy. You can say, screw you, I'm going to do it anyways. I know better. So you can't ignore their advice. That's for sure. So I'm looking at this right now, and I'm looking just platoon 1, for example. I know for sure I'm not going to use Chewbacca. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yep, I'm looking at that too. So you're going to do Chewbacca?
I took Chewbacca, so you can't send them now.
Let's see. So, all right.
Yeah, so then same thing. I'm not going to use the Ewoks. I'm going to tap on all those. I'm not going to use Zeb, Fives. I don't have any of these guys geared up at all. So, so I'm just going to donate Ugnaught for sure. I'm not going to use him. But see, now I don't want to donate my Wedge. He is level 85, gear 11.
Right.
I'd be foolish to send him in right now. So I'm sending in all my weak characters I don't have geared up.
So this is where it becomes where you have to organize with your guild. This is a good example. Most people have Wedge and Biggs geared out. And so it's a decision is going to have to be made in your guild. Like, do you have, like, this particular phase requires 3 combat missions. Do you have a deep enough roster to play these 3 combat missions? And are you going to need Wedge and Biggs? And if I say, you know what, I'll fall on my sword. I'll deploy the Wedge and Biggs, because I do think the platoon thing is like more important.
It is pretty important.
More important than finishing a combat mission
to some extent.
You know what I'm talking? Well, because for the next phase, because everybody in the next phase is going to get the bonuses, and you want everybody in your guild to get the bonuses. I mean, that could be the difference between in the next phase nobody be able to finish a combat mission versus me not finishing a combat mission in this phase. So I'm gonna follow my sword right here, and wait, I'm gonna close and see if it refreshes with you. Did you deploy?
Yeah, I already donated 10 characters, so you should see my name and the characters you see. Once I donate this character in the bucket, I like to call these buckets. Once I donate a character in that particular bucket, MobileGamer can't donate Chewbacca within the same bucket, so he can donate Sabine, Bohi, and all that other stuff.
It updated for me now. So I want to say is deploying is very important. Finishing the combat mission is very important. It's a no-brainer to deploy your lower geared. Like if I happen to have a low gear wedge in Biggs, why not just deploy it? Right?
Exactly.
But it's where it's tricky is if it's a hero like R2 or Wedge in Biggs, and everybody's got it maxed out, and normally that's who you take into the mission. And so like, oh, I have to do it. So I'm gonna do it. Jawa's no big deal. Bodhi's no big deal. Sabine's no big deal. But boy, my Wedge in Biggs, I really don't want to do that.
Mission, see if you can do something else, and then if they're still left over, then go ahead and toss them in. Good characters donate once you're done with all your missions. That's kind of what I do.
Right. I wouldn't do it right now. And this particular phase affects the next phase, but some of the phases affect the current phase.
Yes.
And so you have to, and I haven't looked into it, but I think that starts happening in phase 3.
Phase 3-ish,
and so, phase 3. So, you kind of have to talk to your guild mates, and maybe someone in your guild has an undergeared Wedge and Biggs, and just let them deploy.
let them do it. Yeah, it just comes down to guild coordination pretty much. And usually a lot of guilds, this gets filled up pretty fast, but at the very beginning, just don't rush. Don't just donate aimlessly. Donate weak characters, then coordinate with the rest of your guild afterwards. But speaking of this, Hoth Rebel Soldier, did we talk about that yet? The requirements just getting drastically changed?
Let's skip. We skipped like the most important part of this video.
It's what you're probably
the most important part of our day today. Okay, so this was the big controversy right here. For a couple days, it said 7 stars, and how do we want to word this? We had footage, and it was a developer build, and things can change in the developer build. We posted, myself, and Will posted videos, and I just want to say I think those videos were very, 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 very important for the community to get this territory battles ready. I mean, Will's video was an hour long, and I'm pretty sure every hardcore guild leader went in and watched that video and sliced it apart. I did a developer interview, and then you did a
broad stroke
bare bones, kind of like what you really need to know video that probably the other 49 people in the guild should watch.
Right, something like that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and the problem was that that in our footage it showed what it hits right here, 5-star. So, after some discussion, I know you had a call and some things went on. They internally came to decision to revert it back, which is good, right?
It was a tough decision. It was really tough because it was a really tough decision to make because of the fact there are so many elements at play, and the issue is already ongoing. People bought packs and stuff like that. So I think overall they made a very good decision to go back and revert it. So it was it was a community effort. People are giving us all the credit for it. It was definitely a community effort. It was a community effort.
But so it's back to 5-star Captain Han Solo, Hoth Rebel Soldier.
So now it's much more obtainable.
Yeah, it's back to the way that everybody thought, and my hope is that I personally feel that those videos were very important for the community to get ready for this event, and I hope this whatever happened. I don't even know what happened, really.
It happened so fast and came out of nowhere.
I don't know what happened, but I hope...
Territory battles came out, we're all just doing our thing, we're playing, and all of a sudden someone's like, wait, I just looked at phase 3, and why is it 7-star? Like,
people were upset about this.
Yeah, it wasn't in the notes.
And I understand that.
It came out of nowhere,
but I don't... I just hope that the pipeline does. I hope they don't cut off the information.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Because of this thing, and I hope that we get good information so that we can prepare and get excited. Because at the end of the day, I love this game. You love this game. I think the people watching this video love the game, and so I make videos for people that love playing this game. And I don't want to have less information coming out because of what happened. So we want the information, and because it's fun.
It's fun.
Right?
We like sharing that stuff. Like this was Territory Battles is probably one of the biggest announcements for this game. One of the biggest hype things that ever happened in quite a long time. So I was excited that we were able to be a part of it, able to share this information really, because I think if we just kind of went into this cold turkey like mods, it would have been a lot more confusing for the community. That's how the mods were. No one knew what the heck was going on, and
And
yeah, I don't know.
I don't think every single person in the guild needs to understand every aspect of this particular phase right now. But I do think that the core leaders in every guild that are doing the coordination of the planning, you know, whether that's 5 or 6 people or something like that, really need to understand this to do it correctly.
Right, exactly.
Because phase 2 is a beast. Who knows? I mean, people are struggling with phase 2 already. What's phase 3 going to be like? What's phase 4 going to be like? What's phase 5 going to be like? It's going to require some organization.
It's going to be a lot of organization.
In short, this is good. Deploy first. Play your combat special missions. I don't know. Do your platoon first.
Bleak characters platoon. Do not deploy.
Do not deploy first.
I like how that was the title
Do
of your video.
not deploy first. Do not deploy first. My goodness, I can't believe I just said that.
Nope.
Look at the platoons.
Oh,
you know, do your undergeared characters.
Yes.
Consult with your guild mates to get the platoons done. It's very important to get the platoons done. I'm going to say right now, I think it's more important than getting your combat mission done.
I think so too. To some extent, yeah. You don't.
Okay, because you're going to hurt yourself in the next phase if you don't do the platoon.
Some of these platoons are really important. Like the bosses have special abilities. I think some platoons they actually disable some of the boss's abilities towards the later phases. Yeah. So that's one reason why you might want to do this.
AT-AT. Yeah, can't wait. I haven't seen it.
That's AT-ST, not the AT-AT. AT-AT is the big guy, the little guy.
Oh, AT-ST. Noob. Yeah.
That's why I'm number 1 in our guild right now. For contributions, you only have 37,000. Get out of here!
I don't think anybody else is playing with us. We've got like 7 other people in our guild. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up with Phasma.
Yes.
And show me the book. You've got the book already.
It's a coincidence that today the login reward for this month was Captain Phasma.
It's not a coincidence. It is not a coincidence.
But here, I pre-ordered this. Yes, I'm a loser. Stop. Don't judge me. You would too. I got
There's a link in the description.
Woo!
It's a you got yours from Amazon. So if you buy this Phasma book from the link in the description, I get I don't know, very small credit. It's a small percent, very small percent. Helps out the channel. But people are saying, why Phasma? Phasma, as far as the game goes, I'm going to say 95% of the people already have Phasma at 7 stars. It was like the first free to play. It's kind of people are like, why Phasma? Well, this is why Phasma is because of the book. It's a cross promotion. I hope people understand that.
But it's also Resistance and First Order seasons coming up with this move. Sure. So it could be something in advance. So don't just take it as the book.
Well, and then Game of Thrones with the hype with her. I mean, Game of Thrones season finale was last weekend, and so she is Phasma.
It's Phasma.
You know, so
a lot of I don't know. But I wouldn't take the Captain Phasma thing as solely promoting this book for the daily login. Just keep in mind,
it could be the new movie's coming out for First Order. I'm hoping for a First Order and Resistance reworks or new characters, or mostly First Order, right?
Yeah, mostly. I'm looking forward to First Order. I finally got them to 7 stars, all of them after 9 months of farming or 10 months. So I'm excited. They're not geared up yet. But let me just read this excerpt before we close up our video. A real stormtrooper has no room for sympathy. A real stormtrooper is the extension of the First Order. ... Nothing less.
Oh, God.
Yes, I'm a loser. I have like all these books back here.
Do you follow the Twitter thing about her and whether she's going to have her mask on or mask off?
Mask off. The mask off.
Yeah. That song is crazy, too. We're not talking about that song. Anyways, but, you know, they may make her look like mangled or something. Who knows what she's going to look like?
Her mask off, right, for the first movie.
Well, there was a photo shoot, but they said that was not what the movie was going to be like.
I don't know.
So anyways.
We'll see. A lot of speculation. I'm looking forward to this book. Make sure you buy it, read it with me. Tell me what you think of it on Twitter. I have a lot of people read books with me at the same time. We'll talk again soon, guys. A lot of stuff.
I don't read.
I don't read much either, but this is the one exception. I read the Tarkin book, not Tarkin. Thrawn first. I'm like, I love this. This is a great book. Then I read Ahsoka's book, Tarkin's book, and now Captain Phasma. Only book I'll read for leisure. I can't read anything else for leisure. I can't even read my law school books. I hate it. I always look for the briefs online. I'm such a bad student.
I might have to start reading. You might get me
into it. I'm telling you, man. It's a lot of fun. It's some of these books, they just keep you interested the whole way. So.
All right, guys.
We'll see you later.
Peace out.
Woo! I was playing some Tekken the other day.